My name is Kristin Jankowicz-Schrock. I'm an author and a DMC designer. Stitching is one of my very favorite things to do with kids. And today I'm lucky to have two special friends here. I've got Kyla and Alexandra, and they're gonna help me teach you a really fun project. This way we can bring all of our doodles to life. So we're gonna have the girls make a little sketch, and I've kind of come up with some inspirational ideas to help us get started. Now, Kyla's our girly girl, so I've come up with a little color palette for her to work from. And over here we have a heart and some ballet slippers because Kyla really likes ballet, and a K for her name and a little flower. Now over on the other side for Alexandra, she's pretty hip and really into tie-dye and some bright, fun, funky colors. So we've got a star and some music notes. A peace sign was a special request, and we've also got a letter A for her as well. Now what we're going to do to get started on this project is we've got this little template that we're going to trace, and this lets us know how big we want our design to be. So we're going to have Kyla start over here. We're going to place the template in the center, and we're going to start with a really special pen. These are water erasable pens, so they're really cool because we can draw whatever we want and then we can put water on them at the end and our design will disappear. So let's start with Kyla. Can you trace the inside circle with your pen? And it's okay if your circle's not perfect because we can make it disappear. Okay, now for the outside circle, this is going to mark where we're going to cut out our button. So we're going to use a pencil, and we're going to trace around the outside edge with the pencil. And you don't have to press too hard. Sometimes if you're using a really pointy pencil, the lead can get stuck. And you really only just need a light touch because it's going to be a guideline for us. Let's take a look to see what Kyla's drawn. This is a dog that's going to look adorable. Let's see how Alexandra's smiley face turned out. That's going to be really cute all stitched up. I'm going to really quickly make a button for myself so that we can follow along together. I've got my guides. And now we're ready to thread the needle using DMC embroidery floss. We're going to use 3 strands of the floss. I've already got mine cut here. We don't need to make it too long. And one of my special tricks for stitching with kids is to use a needle threader. This makes it super easy. First, I'm going to put it right through the eye of my needle, and then I can put the 3 strands of floss directly in the middle of that. So it makes it really easy just to pull all of my floss through, and I've got a perfectly threaded needle. I'm also going to make a little knot at the end. Now before we can make our first stitch, we're going to put both of our pieces of fabric into a hoop, and that's going to really stabilize things. So let's take our hoops from in front of us, and what we're going to do is the center hoop, if you girls pick it up, you can see it's got a little lip on it. And we're going to make that lip on the table so that it's facing down. So let's put our loops in front of us where we want to stitch, and then we're going to put our fabric on top of that. And now with our top loop, we're just going to slip it over our fabric and twist this screw to get it nice and tight. And that way our fabric won't slip around while we're stitching. So we're going to start first using a sharp embroidery needle, and that's because we're going to be going back and forth through the fabric. Now to make it a little bit easier for beginners, one of the tricks is to flip our fabric over and use our water erasable marker to trace the back of the design. Now while we're looking at the back, we're all going to put our needle in from the back side and flip over our hoop. Now pull your needle all the way through so that the knot catches at the back. Now we're going to make one stitch just a little bit further forward. Pull your needle all the way through the back again. Now we're going to start the back stitch. And so what we do for the back stitch is it's just like it sounds. We're going to work backwards. We're going to make our stitch from the back side a little bit further than we would want. So make it another stitch length, and then we're going to pull it through. Now we're going to continue with our back stitch, and this is why it's called the back stitch, because we're going to make one stitch backwards into the same hole to connect our stitches. And we're gonna pull that all the way down through. And that is all that there is to a backstitch. What's cool about these buttons too is that you can make a whole theme if you want. You could do something fun like music or all of your different dance classes, and you can wear them on a necklace or on clothes. You can give them to friends to collect, and you can make them into bracelets. You can really do a lot of different things with them. So what are some other designs that you think that you might like to stitch?
Probably like a peace sign like that.
Yeah, do you think you could do a peace sign like that? It's pretty easy to do. And DMC has such a variety of floss that you can really coordinate with any outfits. Really, any favorite colors are easy to find. So girls, this is pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have the hang of it?
Yeah.
Do you think that you could teach your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, without too much trouble. Yeah, it's easy with these pointy needles too. You can get right through your fabric, but you have to watch your fingers. Don't want to hurt yourself. You do have to be a little bit careful with the needles, and that's why it's really important that we have these pin cushions, because that's the #1 rule of needleworking, that we never want to have loose needles around. I love him. Did you pull your string all the way through yet? Okay, then put it down through another corner. Let's just do one stitch for each eye. Put it straight through the bottom. That looks very good. And then we can jump over to the other eye. It's so nice to have the marker on the back. Don't you think that that helps? Yeah. It's a lot easier to see. That looks really good. We're getting our tail cut. We do need to stop every once in a while to make sure that our string is all straightened out. Sometimes if your needle gets twisted, what you can do is just let it dangle like that, and then all the twists get out of it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tuck this floss under some of our old stitches. And that's a perfect way to be able to trim this one away, and it's really, really easy. So Alexandra's already started for us. She's doing a great job. We're just gonna weave our needle without poking it through to the other side of the fabric. And we're just gonna snip our strands there. And now we can put this needle away. Let's remember to put it back in our pin cushion because we don't want any needles to get lost. And now we're gonna use another special needle. This one's called the tapestry needle. And it's got a dull point because we don't really need to pierce anything. We don't need to stab through the fabric. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use it to put a snazzy finishing touch on, and we're gonna weave through our stitches. So let's pick up your needle that's threaded. Right now it's going to be in your orange petal. And we're gonna start the same way from the back side. So pick out what part of your design you want to do a squiggle stitch through. Okay, so you're gonna do the ears, and you're gonna do the mouth. Okay, so we're gonna go through the back side of that, and we're gonna pull it all the way through again. And now what we're gonna do is weave under one of our stitches. And it kind of helps. The little trick is if you push your finger up from under it, then it raises that part of the fabric, and you can just easily slide your needle under there. This is why it's nice to not have a pointy needle. And you don't need to pull these squiggles really tight. It's nice to leave them loose. So we're gonna go back and forth. It helps to kind of embellish your stitches and bring movement and life to your design. Should we give them some little eyeballs with the purple to finish it up? Do you want me to show you how to do it? Maybe I'll show you one and then you can do one. Okay, we're gonna do a French knot. This is a special little one. We're gonna go all the way through the front and wrap it around 1, 2, 3 times, and then we're gonna put our needle back down into the same hole, kind of pull our floss tight, and then we're gonna pull it through the back side. You got it, good job. Oh my gosh, first one ever, and it's absolutely perfect. That looks really good. And now is the fun part. Now we're gonna turn these into buttons. So put your needle back into your pin cushion. Alexandra already did that. You too. Good job. And we can take apart our fabric here. Whoops, if I can figure out how to get this off again. You guys are faster than I am, huh? Now we're ready to make our ink disappear and iron our stitches so that they really pop out away from the fabric. So I have a little sheet here. Do you have some water for us? Wonderful, thank you very much. And we need the iron as well. Thank you. Now you've got to be really careful when you're handling this hot iron so that we don't burn ourselves. Now we're going to make the ink disappear. Do you want to dip your finger in the water? Okay, this is so cool. Watch how this works. There we go. It works right away. It's just like magic. Also, if you have the spray mister on your iron, you can just mist it a couple times as well, and that'll have the same effect. Great, now let's do the smiley face right here.
The outside circle too, right?
Yes, the outside circle too. There you go. That was a great question because the outside circle is going to show up on the edge of your button, and unless you want that to show, it's nice to make it disappear. Wonderful job. Now what we're going to do is turn this upside down. We can take both of them side by side. Do you want to put yours on there upside down? And Alexandra, do you want to iron these down? Be really careful not to touch the heat. And what that does is it pushes pressure on the back and your stitches go down into that fluffy towel, and so it really makes them stand out away from the fabric and they look great and really finished. Okay, now we're ready to make these works of art into super cool buttons. First of all, trim away your outside circle. And it doesn't have to be perfect because all of these ends are going to be tucked away under the butt. Let's do the puppy to start. Can we put him in there upside down? So we're going to kind of center him in there. Now we're going to put the top of our button down on top of him. Can you help me tuck in all of these little pieces? More fingers help. Now we're going to put the back of the button on over that. And now here's the magic part. We're going to put this on top. Can you push it down? Excellent job. Let's see how he turned out. Oh, how cute is that? Oh, I love the dog. Now it's time to do the smiley face. Let's do yours. Put your smiley face upside down. Put this on top. And we'll tuck all the pieces in. Good teamwork here. Thank you. It helps to have some little fingers, huh? That's perfect. Now press the blue piece. Very good. That looks so good. Let's show everybody what it looks like. The smiley face looks so wonderful. I really like these two together. Do you want to stick your dog in here to show everybody? How cute. This is a really fun way to bring your stitches to life. For you more advanced stitchers, you can also try using Aida cloth. This is a really fun example of some stitching that you can do. These are all done in cross stitch. So these are all on even weave fabric, and you can make some really precious little detailed buttons. Here we've done some initials, also just some teeny little pets that are really fun. And they're cool to embellish too with little bows. You can also use beads or any other embellishments that you have around, and they just look really adorable together. And it's a really quick and fun project. Well, thank you girls so much for helping me out today. Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Do you think that you're going to make a lot more buttons?
Yeah.
Definitely. They're pretty quick and easy to do, huh? Well, you were excellent helpers, and I had a wonderful time with both of you, so hopefully you'll have a great time making these at home as well.